The Crooked Epic, 1, Inn, 1, The Inn of Maniacal Madness, 7, Alex, The Train, 7B, 1. Ted's father left again right after finishing supper with them on Tuesday. Ted and Mrs. Wilson were not sure if Christopher's information from his headquarters would be shared about the motive behind Alex's disappearance, or whether their safety should be a vital concern. He said he would send word of his absence at the house to the local authority figures who would extend their patrol into that part of Weir. The father would be in contact Wednesday morning in return for supper and then try to negotiate the search parties by Thursday morning. It would be a mercenary effort on behalf of townspeople in surrounding areas, as the agencies that took charge of the investigation had lost their contacts in the region. However, the previous search parties for Alex had not turned up anything, which weighed on their conscience. Mrs. Wilson did not seem to think they should remove themselves from the house, and she continued to hope Alex would return, although it was already late after midnight in Hobb. The Guardians did not believe anything supernatural or otherworldly about the missing people. As night closed over the house, Ted alternated between reading and listening to the radio. Ted was intent on switching from news broadcasts back to music. He read Sir Doyle's Sherlock Holmes books and looked out the window into the front road and lawn. The wind whipped across the grass, and the starless sky and clouds contributed to the imminent darkness outside. The radio broadcast had been somewhat ordinary, and nothing was mentioned about the school's missing people nor murder. The unacknowledged catastrophes Ted had witnessed firsthand made him question the reliability of the media channels. Morbidly upset, Ted had to see if the cave was still there, whether it had collapsed entirely. If it had disappeared on its own, he could understand everyone's lack of attention to his carefully placed and iterated details of the location on the hill which led to Hobb. So he bided his time after 8 p.m. He wandered to and from the staircases and study rooms, checking if Mrs. Wilson would recognize his wily disobedience. As she did not respond to his restless pacing, he decided to gamble his solace against his brother's sanctity. At 8:30, he thought he heard her footsteps or the floorboards creaking, but quickly realized it was only the approaching storm's gust against the front window panes. This became Ted's last signal, and he slowly turned the knob of the pantry door and slid outside into the darkness. It was one of those motivating moments in Ted's life where he felt like time sped by and he was moved through a sequence of events barely conscious of his bravery. Vaguely, Ted remembered walking past the barn door, not even looking inside, but recalling the footprints in the mud by the tool shed. Thinking of something he had read in the mystery books that evening, Ted felt an inner sleuthing ego and controlled curiosity urging him through the yard. He turned and looked for the lights upstairs just past the barn, but the windows were dark in the back of the house except for the kitchen. The woods were cold, yet the trees and bushes blocked the wind around their property's perimeter. When he was at the foothills of the giant hill, Ted heard thunder rolling above. With the storm coming and Mrs. Wilson in mind, he accelerated his speed to a light jog the rest of the way to the top. The cave was dark, but the tiny crystals lining the walls shone fluorescently. More rocks were blocking the path than before, and it seemed as though part of the ground behind him had avalanched inward, creating an abyss within the catacombs tunnels to Hobb. Seeking how the chasms changed the formation of the hill made Ted reconsider forging through any more into the void, so he returned home before the rain began falling.